Is the 2019-2020 District 63 Council meeting, and we're going to call it to order at this time. I've got a pretend gavel in my hand, and I'm going to gavel it in. We're starting the meeting. My name is Gene Coy. I'm the District 63 Director, and I'll be presiding over the meeting. To begin with, I would like to offer welcome to all of our distinguished people here today. I can't see all the people, but I see we have about 80 people on Zoom and more are coming in, and there were 96 on the previous meeting with YouTube. So add those numbers together, you have close to 200 in audience, and that is amazing. So let's begin with welcoming the ones whom I'm sure are online. That's our International Director, Don Biddick, International Director, Carol Perhinsky, Regional Advisor, Jenna Lee Taylor, past Distinguished District Director, Jimmy Roberts, past District Director, Lindy Estep, past District Director, Kim Santan, past District Governor, Becky Beggerly, past District Governor, Coley Purdue. I'm hoping I have not missed anybody. Have I missed anybody out there that's a dignitary that I need to recognize at this time? If so, just chime in and let us know you're here. We don't want to leave anybody out. In addition, we want to recognize Stacy Thomas, Monty Foster, Jeff England, Barbara Sanders, Christian Phillips, Donna Brown, Lily Rowland, Sharon Burlingame, Wendy McNabb, Mary Mixon, Regina Jennings, and all the rest of the staff that we've had working with Toastmasters this year. We appreciate all of you for all that you've done. And we do want you to know that we do appreciate you. So what I wanted to talk to you about today was just tell you a little bit about the year. It's been pretty wild. Marty is going to alert me when people are in the chat box if they need to interrupt me, and Marty will notify me. Marty Foster. Thank you, Marty. We've had a wild ride this year. We've had several tornadoes that hit Georgia and Chattanooga recently, and we've had earlier tornadoes in Cookeville. We've had them in Nashville. I mean, it's been rough. A lot of Toastmasters are out of work, and they've got to rebuild, and there's things like that is so important that has to be done. And on top of that, we had the switchover from the traditional program to the Pathways program. And a lot of people were reluctant to make this switch because, well, they were used to doing the traditional way and it was different. So they had to learn new ways and new challenges. And on top of that, we have this worldwide pandemic that people are staying at home, and you'll hear more about it as we get into our reports, the effect that has happened to the district. We've had to deal with all that. I don't know of any other Toastmaster year that's had to deal with so much. It's been a wild ride. And there's a lot of ups and downs, and we've endured. And I want to appreciate all of you for sticking in there and helping us along the way. We have an inspirational speaker that talks about this very thing. His name is John O'Leary. John O'Leary has a weekly column where he speaks to growers and users of commodities. And his purpose is to motivate us during this time. And he puts out a weekly bulletin. And what he said to say was really good, because with the stock market going down like it's been and going up the next day and down the next day, thousands of points, and this crazy ride with jobs, we don't know if we have a job. We don't know if we are going to go to work the next day. There's just been a lot of things going on. And he brings an inspirational point, and I'd like you to listen to him at this time. Let me just load his video. Can everybody see this video?
Not seeing the video, sir.
Not seeing the video. It doesn't say IFPC welcomes weekly inspiration with John O'Leary.
Okay, have you shared your screen?
Probably did not. Let me go back and share this screen. Share screen.
Stacey Thomas looks like a music video from the 80s right now. I'm waiting for her to break out in some Robert Palmer.
Okay, give me just a few minutes because I don't see it listed on my dashboard, but I do have it on my desktop.
That's okay. Down towards the bottom, or you're looking at the bar at the bottom where it says security participants chat at the bottom of the Zoom meeting.
Mm-hmm.
There should be a button right there that says share screen.
Yeah, I have a lot of stuff. Let me find out where it's at.
You can open more windows if there's a line that says open other windows. If you're already on shared screen, you see some of the windows, but not all of them. There's a way to open up all the windows to see everything, so you can click on the right window.
Oh, cool. Now, can you see that? No, you can't.
Yes, we can
Hello,
see it.
my friends. Welcome to more weekly inspiration brought to you from our friends at IFPC. My name is John O'Leary. It's a delight to be with you on this Monday morning with the headwind blowing at us, with the markets dropping around us, with the coronavirus spreading all over the place, both here locally, nationally, and globally. And yet I wanted to remind you on this Monday morning of a little bit of perspective, both for today, but also historically, as we get ready to move into a future that is brighter. I promise you, brighter than the day we are currently living right now. My mother, her name is Susan O'Leary, had 6 kids, and she would remind all of us, whether it was periods of profound blessings, when the sun was shining bright, when markets were elevating, when unemployment was low, when we got the right jobs, when we were in with the right group of friends, when life was going awesome, my mother would whisper to us, "This too shall pass." She did not say those words to be a jerk, I don't think. She just wanted us kids not to get a big head thinking that we were really all that great, that we'd done all this by ourselves. She wanted us to know, this too shall pass. Stay humble and hungry. And yet she was loving enough when the days were tough, when the future seemed bleak, when the headwind was blowing, when markets were dropping, when unemployment was rising, when coronavirus was spreading, to remind us of a very different expression. It's one you may want to write down today, my FPC friends. Here's what she would say to all of us. And she says it to you and me right now. These words, listen to them. This too shall pass. This too shall pass. It is a reminder that in spite of what we are going through today, eventually this thing turns. We return to who we were. I think we return to who we were as an even better version of ourselves because of what we went through. But this too shall pass. And the best remains in front of us. The markets play this out. We've had 12 drops of greater than 20% since 1940. 12 drops of greater than 20%. In the previous 11, so we're in our 12th one right now. In the previous 11, the average drop is 30%. Seems pretty dire. And yet within 6 months of hitting the bottom, and the market return afterwards has been 26% in the 6 months that followed. So if you could just shut your eyes during the periods of the storm and wake up 6 months later, you would see a total 4% drop in your portfolio, because the truth remains historically, this too shall pass. We will return to who we were, and we're going to return to it with a vengeance and even better versions of ourselves going forward. And I'm not the first one to say these words. Years and years ago, in 1945, we had a phenomenal president who made his way again to the inaugural address. His name was Franklin Delano Roosevelt. It was his 4th time at the inaugural party. Apparently, the United States used to allow kings to rule. This guy was president 4 different times, class, okay? He made his way up there. This was a man who saw the Great Depression firsthand. He led the nation through it. This is a man who led our nation through World War II. This is a man who experienced profound health challenges, unable to walk without the assistance of others and splints made of metal on his legs. He made his way to the podium and he shared these words with a nation that needed a little bit of hope, not unlike the nation that we currently live in today. Here's what Franklin said. The great fact to remember is that the trend of civilization itself is forever upward. That a line drawn through the middle of the peaks and the valleys of the centuries always, IFPC, always has an upward trend. This, my friends, is the good news today. The great fact to remember is that the trend of civilization, of markets, of families, of your life itself is forever upward. And that a line drawn through the middle of the peaks and the valleys over the centuries and decades and years always has an upward trend. These are difficult days that you and I are leading through. And yet these are the days where the DNA of leadership shows up, reveals itself, and we have the ability right now in our life, in our families, in our work, through our faith, in our grit to show up in a mighty way, to guide not only our own organizations, our own families, and our own lives through it, but also to remind us in the community that the best days are in front of us. Individually, we fall short of that promise, but collectively, we can't fail in achieving it. So I'm looking forward to showing back up in your lives next Monday. I'm looking forward to continuing the motivation and the inspiration with you. And I'm looking forward to moving through the storm cloud of darkness and despair into the truth. That the great truth is this, that civilization always trends upward. And so do we.
All right, I hope that was an encouragement to you. I'm going to be showing a PowerPoint today for the business meeting, and you should be able to see that on your screen at this time.
I don't see it, Gene.
You don't see it?
Not yet, sir.
I'm sorry. Let me adjust here. You see it now?
We're getting there. Yes, sir. There it is. Very good.
Okay. Apologize for the delay. We've had the inspirational thought. Now we're going to have the Pledge of Allegiance with Donna Brown.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Donna. Now we will have the district mission presented by Mary Mixon.
We build new clubs and support all clubs in achieving excellence. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we're going to call for the credentials report with Sharon Burlingame. Sharon, we're going to have our election today, and we have a big question on our mind. And that question, I hope you will answer real soon, is whether or not we have a quorum.
All right. Thank you, District Director Jean. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
There are 58 eligible clubs in the district. Each club receives 2 votes, one for the club president and one for the vice president of education. To achieve a quorum, 1/3 of the presidents and vice presidents of education of eligible clubs must be registered, which is 39. There are 60 eligible club presidents and vice presidents of education represented. As such, we have achieved a quorum. Yay! There are also 22 district executive committee members represented. District executive committee members do not count towards achieving a quorum. The total ballots available are 82. If everyone votes, a simple majority would be 41, and a 2/3 vote would be 54. And a little caveat here, with respect to if we have to meet with in person, I wasn't quite sure about, since we're online and everything, if we actually have to call a roll of people at some point, if we've got to do the simple majority 2/3 vote online today.
We do not need to call the roll. We can go by the registration. And after the meeting's all over, Dennis is going to compile and double check the qualifications.
Okay. And one last item, footnote. 18 of the VPs and presidents who registered are not eligible to vote today due to club dues not being paid as of today.
I don't want to ask questions because I'm more of a objective guy, but didn't they extend the club dues to be paid by the end of April? So then technically clubs should not be able to vote now, right? Shouldn't everybody be able to vote because of that extension?
You are correct, Curtis. The extension was made to the 29th or 30th of April. So we could go by October approved clubs if we need to.
I don't really like making decisions. I just like asking questions. So I don't know what you want to do with that information.
Yeah, I think we're
Just passing it along.
I think we're good either way. So
Yeah.
is there anything else, Sharon?
No, that's my report.
Okay.
And I'll return it to you, Mr. Director.
Is there any objections to the credential report being adopted? There is no objection. The credential report is adopted. Now we're going to talk about the meeting agenda. We want to know if the meeting agenda has any changes that need to be made as it was printed. Hearing no objection, hearing no objections, we will count the agenda as being okay. All right. Now we're going to have Wendy McNabb come up and give the fall district council minutes. Let me just say, we posted all this stuff online. And if there's any changes or amendments, go ahead and put that in the chat now so Wendy can address them. Otherwise, we will skip last year's minutes because they were posted on the website and everyone had an opportunity to go to the website and read them. So I'm gonna turn it over to Wendy McNabb at this time. Wendy? Is Wendy online?
Jean, we have got 100 people online. It may be that Wendy could not log in.
She couldn't log in? Okay, I thought she was in earlier, but apparently she couldn't get in. Oh, this is it. Okay, she sent a text and said that she couldn't get in because the limit was reached on the Zoom meeting. So she did send me her minutes from last year. We don't really need to go over last year because that was last year and it was read in the last year's. And we had a meeting last year. So let's just move on with this year. And as far as an incentive update, I think, hold on just a second. Let me pull up that email. I think Wendy told me what to say about that. Attachment, here we go. Okay. Avis Brody wants to get into the meeting and she can't get in because it's full. So we'll have to make an allowance for her to get in later in the day. I know the incentive, if I remember right, Wendy said we had like 90 or 96 participants that were winners of the one and done, which was the best incentive we had all year. And that incentive was if you paid your dues for both October and for April, then you was allowed to be put in a drawing, and the drawing would give you either a $25 Toastmasters certificate, or you would get money to use at the district store and also help with conference expenses. And we had great turnout, 96 people. That was awesome. And that really helped our district because it helped our numbers better. So we really appreciate that. We'll move on to the next section now. The Club Alignment Report. And the Club Alignment Report will be presented by Christian Phillips. And Christian, if you're able to take over the screen and start doing your Club Alignment, please.
Okay, you have disabled the participant screen sharing, and I'm on here as a participant. Can you change it, Jean?
I'll see what I can do.
Okay. And Jean, if I can't share it, do you have the PowerPoint that you can pull up for me?
I can do that. I'm trying to figure out how.
Let me ask a quick question. John Grigsby, are you on? Are you Zoom master? Can you help these guys out?
I am, and I am. Let me stop Gene sharing.
There you go.
Then Christian, you should be able to share now.
Okay, give me just a second.
And also, if I could take the floor for this second, if any of the participants are not in a speaking role, can you move over to YouTube? We have met our 100-person maximum for this meeting. And for those who do need to speak and are trying to get in, they can't. We're down to 90 now, but if you don't have that role and you just want to watch, if you could go over to YouTube to you can search for District 63, and you can watch this whole thing live and not actually be in this Zoom meeting. That would be greatly appreciated.
Yes, and you will be able to vote from the YouTube meeting.
That will be explained in a little bit. And the comments that you're putting into YouTube are being monitored by Stephanie and Kendra. So if you have thoughts or questions that you want to share, you just type them into YouTube, and then we'll get to those as soon as we can.
Okay, I still cannot share my screen. It says host disabled participant screen sharing, and I'm only on as a participant. So yeah, Jean, go ahead and do that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everybody, for participating in this. I wanted to first give a shout out to everybody who helped with the D63 alignment. This could not have been done without all of the help from our DEC members, from Jean, all the way down to all of the division directors. And I even had some input from Jim Hart, former Toastmaster. So this year has been a little bit of a complicated alignment, but I think that we got through this pretty well. So Jean, if you'll go on to the first screen. So what we decided to do as all of us came together, was make sure that all of the clubs were aligned in such a way where we had strong clubs in each area, along with clubs that were rebuilding in each area, so that there were no areas that had an unfair advantage over a different area. That being said, within our district, we are closing 2 areas and we're actually opening up a new area. So for Division B, we are actually closing an area and we're consolidating into a different area. Area 10 and Area 11 are way up in the northeast, and we were able to keep both of those areas together. And our new club, UT-TCE, is going to be going into Area 10. Jean, next slide, please. Area 21 and Area 22 actually now have an extra club in them. So each one of them have 5 clubs because we are closing down a new club. Okay, next slide, please. Area 23 is pretty central to Knoxville, but the Morning Cup, which is down in Maryville, was moved up into Area 23. And then Area 20, which actually had an attrition and went down to 3 clubs, we decided to close. Okay, Jean, next screen. Division C. Division C also had an area that closed. So in that, in all of those closings, we had to consolidate to make sure that each area had a minimum of 4, a maximum of 6 clubs. So as you can see, Area 30 and 31 now have 5 clubs together. Next screen. Go ahead and go back one. I believe that you missed a screen, Jean. Okay, Area 32 now has 6 clubs, and Area 33, because it went down to 3 clubs, we closed and moved 3 clubs into different areas. Okay, now you can go to Division D. So Division D had a lot of movement in it because we've grown so much in Division D. This is the division that we have actually decided to open up a new area in. So we've just had a lot of movement. Area 40 now has 5 clubs. Area 41 has got 5 clubs. Okay, proceed. Thank you. Area 42 has got a new prospective club but still has 4 clubs, which are quite strong. And then Area 43 is going to be our new area, which has got a new club, ComData, Prime Meridians, Savvy Speakers, and Medium Voltage Toastmasters. Division E. So Division E also had a lot of movement in it. There were no areas that were closed down. We just did a whole bunch of movement. Area 50 and 51. I don't believe Area 51 moved around a lot. Okay, please proceed. Area 52 and Area 54. And then in Division F. So Division F actually has quite a lot of new clubs coming into it, and I'm super excited about it. We didn't have enough to actually open up a new area, but there are quite a few areas in here that have 6 clubs. Area 60 now has 6 clubs. Serve Pro is the newest one. Area 62, even though it has 3 clubs, there are 2 new prospective clubs in here that are just about to charter: Century City and Cummins. Cummins has got 3 clubs that are going to be chartering this year, and all of them are going to go into Division F. And then last slide, Jean. And then Area 63, we've got 2 of the Cummins clubs in Area 63, along with 4 of our regular clubs. That is the new district realignment that we will need to vote on. Again, it was super important for us to be extremely fair in this process to make sure that there were no areas that had an unfair advantage over any other area. And those clubs that were rebuilding actually had a chance to be in a very, very strong area. Thank you, everybody. And Jean, I'll bring it back to you.
Thank you, Christian. I really appreciate that. Now, Christian has made a motion that we accept the alignment as presented. Is there any discussion? If so, you need to put it in the chat box and Monty will bring it to my attention before we vote.
I second the motion. Donna Brown.
Thank you. There is no objection. It's approved. We'll move on to the next report. Our public relations report will be presented by Barbara Sanders. Barbara, are you on the line?
I'm here, Jean.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. This year with the public relations, we have tried to provide as much information as possible to keep everyone up to date. Starting with January, we went in with our makeup, TLI, providing information from that. In February, we sent out the winners for the one and done incentives that Jean mentioned earlier. Also in February, we made the announcement for the D63 conference. Later in March, we had to make changes as we began to address COVID in the district, and we had a few meetings as we decided to go online to continue having our meetings via Zoom. We also made announcements for a few members that passed away, one of which is Jim Hart. And then in April, we began our announcements for the Zoom Spring Conference. This information has been posted to the D63 website, and I'd like to thank everyone for sending their communications so that we could share it with the district. And I appreciate Stephanie as she's put forth the conference and the communication for the spring, and Laura Kraft, who has been excellent in keeping the website up to date. And back to you, Jean.
Thank you. I do appreciate so much what PR has done and the administration manager. I mean, all the people have been great this year. Laura was really a good help with the web, and that's a good point, Barbara, there. Now we'll move to the finance manager report. Jeff England.
Everyone, I'm here, Gene. Can you bring up the screen? There we go. For the month ending March 31st, 2020, District 63's available funds is $62,532.28 before the minimum district reserve required by Toastmasters International, which is $9,979.35. So the available funds on March 31st, 2020 for District 63 after the reserve is $52,552.93. With regards to the P&L, if we can move to the next screen. The P&L revenue year to date is $30,604, and expenses as of March 31st is $30,604, for net income increase of $4,662. Going into March 31st to June, as of the extensions for membership dues, they're significantly a little bit lower than what was expected with everything that's going on in the world, but we're still under budget by $12,808 as of March 31st, after the conference and everything was removed from the expense, changed when it came to the expenses. Going forward, I think we're in pretty good shape. The only concern I think that Toastmasters International has is that with everything going on with the COVID-19 is that membership dues is maybe lower than expected going into June 30th. I think it's all I have. Is there any questions or anything?
Thank you, Jeff. I really appreciate that report. And we will move on to the next slide here. Our audit committee report. We have Regina Jennings and her committee has spent a long time doing an audit for us at mid-year, and she's going to come up at this time and give us a report. Regina? Hello, Regina Jennings. I know she was online earlier.
I'm here.
Okay, great.
The video's not there, so I was muted by the hub.
Let me just stop the share.
Okay. No, that's fine. Is there anything on the next page?
I don't think so.
Okay, that's fine.
No.
Okay. Now I can see everyone. Yes, I chaired the audit committee for this year, along with John Tate and Brad Kirking, who was part of this group. We were asked to provide a review of the financial transactions related to the period of July 2019 through December 2019 for District 63. As part of our review, we matched the revenues and expenses from the district reserve statement to the monthly profit and loss statement for each month and reviewed the bill payment register and concur to ensure that each transaction was properly authorized and paid. As part of this review, we analyzed each transaction to ensure that proper approval was given for each charge that was in excess of $500. Unfortunately, we did discover several transactions that were paid prior to the proper approval, which was an issue in the previous report that we were provided. Our findings was the policy for pre-approval of larger expenses over $500 before payment was not followed during the covered audit period. It appears that there were several charges and one was Blue Coast food invoice. It was paid in July and the received approval was in September. The convention hotel expenses for Mr. Coy was $1,717.02 was paid on 9/30 and received approval in October 31st of 2019. The recommendation from the audit committee is that this finding appeared on the previous audit report, and we would suggest that this policy would be reevaluated to determine the validity of this policy. As part of the process, we would suggest clarifying the language of the existing policy to be changed from payments over $500 to individual expenses over $500 to bring more clarity to the policy. A payment of over $500 may contain multiple individual charges and may not require pre-approval. A listing of the approval requirements and persons involved should be included as part of the materials provided to the audit committee to assist them in the review of the approval process. Other items of note. As part of the review process, we were provided with a profit and loss report that did not contain the proper information. The first report we received of November 2019 initially indicated monthly revenues of $0 and was created on January 15th, 2020. After questioning this report, we were provided a report that contained different amounts. This was also created on 1/21/2020. We would suggest that management would evaluate the cause of this difference and review their existing policies around timelines and proper review of reports to ensure that their proper reports are completed and reviewed within 30 days of the month end. Based upon the information we were provided, we were unclear about monthly duties associated with reviewing reports and approval, but believe that it is important to review financial transactions to make decisions. In email communications with Toastmasters International staff members, it appears that there are several adjustments made to the profit and loss statement to properly record revenues and expenses in the proper periods. As part of our review, we found the following charges listed below that were in concur but not listed on the bill payment register. We would suggest in future periods that the audit committee would receive a copy of journal entries or year-end entries that have been made to properly match the bill payment register to concur. To assist in this process of matching up reports and completing this process, we would recommend providing an account activity report or similar equivalent that would identify all of the items included on the profit and loss statement and not listed on the district reserve statement or bill payment register. We would recommend also that the list of audit requirements and responsibilities would be sent as soon as the audit committee is formed to assist them in understanding the requirements in between audit reviews, because it appears that the chairman of the audit committee did not receive the monthly reports within 30 days of the end of the month. All the reports for the mid-year audits were received in late January or early February, which doesn't match to the existing policy. Unfortunately, we were unaware of this requirement in order to request the appropriate reports. There was some expenses listed that you probably do not see. There was 8 items. One looks like it's an ongoing subscription to JOT forms, which is $9.95 per month. However, some of these were not listed on the bills register for July through December 2019. I don't know where the approval or the report of that, but it looks like it is an ongoing charge per month. And out of those, 4 of them were the $9.95 to JOT forms. And that concludes my report. Any questions?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, we're going to move on to the club director report with Marty Foster. Marty?
Well, good morning, district leaders and fellow Toastmasters. Gene, are you going to allow me to share my screen?
Yes, I can. You got it.
It still says the host has disabled participant screen sharing.
I haven't done that. I don't know if there's a setup that needs to be changed because I stopped
Should be good.
there. So
You should be good now, Marty. See if you can do it.
Okay.
There you go.
Is it up?
Yes.
All right, well, good deal. Well, I hope so everyone can see my screen.
Yes, sir.
All right, well, I hope that you and yours are doing well, staying safe and healthy, as all three are very important at this time. Our resilience is being tested, but I have confidence that we will pull through. And like Johnny said, this too, or like your guy Gene said, this too shall pass. So I just want to go over a few of the objectives of my report. I want to go over some of the current statistics of the club membership, some of the new clubs, some of the area incentive awards, and also some leads and encouraging to meet online. As you can see here, this might seem a little drastic. We had 91 clubs, and then our next payments, we only have 60. Now, we did have an extension in our dues, which could have had clubs let off on getting those dues. But we do have 14 clubs that have a low minimum requirement. So I encourage you to ask those members to get those dues in. But we also alarmingly have 12 clubs that have not submitted any renewals whatsoever. Now, I know sometimes the corporate clubs may send it in all at one time, but at this point, we have 12 clubs that have not submitted any renewals. And they are due at the end of this month in order to be in good standing. Member payments. As soon as these dues come in, I'm sure this number will raise up, but at this point, we're 22% below where we need to be. But here's a delight. I'd like to welcome these new clubs to our district and our newest club, BBS Toastmasters. BBS chartered on April 1st. Their sponsors are Kel Coulter and Janet Strideman, with mentors Donna Brown and Mike Costa. The area director incentive. Now we had a incentive that if the area directors finished all the reports before a certain deadline, 3 months before the May 31st deadline, that they would get an incentive from the district. And we had 2 area directors finish their reports by February 29th. Thus, they earned the incentive. So from Area 22, we have Steve Christie. Let's congratulate Steve. And from Area 54, let's congratulate Shanna Teasdale. Congratulations, Steve and Shanna. Well done. This proactive approach, allows us to get information and helps us harvest that to help the district succeed in our mission. Also, the gateway to the future incentive. If you had an open house, we had 1 club in the district that achieved this incentive. And that club was the Oak Ridge Toastmasters. So congratulations to the Oak Ridge Toastmasters for having an open house during that time frame. But really, I want to encourage people to meet online during this time. And also, you guys as district leaders, your seasoned Toastmasters, you can jump on these online meetings and support these struggling clubs by attending their Zoom meetings. Here's a recent West Knoxville Toastmaster online meeting. Think about having an open house online. There's been many clubs that's been doing that around the country and the world. Now, these are times that really test true leaders. So it's up to you to adjust and bounce back and taking your team with you. Gene?
Thank you, Monty. Okay, Stacy Thomas is going to come up now. Do you need the screen, Stacy?
No, I'm good, Gene.
Okay.
Thank you, Gene. As you might imagine, the program quality group has been very busy for the last couple of weeks since we started distancing meeting at online. All of our clubs, or several of our clubs, have jumped on board. The district bought Zoom accounts for each of our divisions so that we would have enough for every single club to be able to log on and meet virtually. If you are not meeting online, please let us know. We would love to get you set up. If you are meeting online, we have several Toastmasters who have asked about visiting your club. Would you please share your account with me, and then I will share it only with those Toastmasters who would like to visit. As well as the meetings online, we also totally revamped our spring conference. As you know, our physical conference was canceled, so we started putting this day together. And I want to tell you, I've decided one of the best jobs of a leader, the best thing a leader can do, recruit an awesome team and then get out of their way and let them take over and do their magic. I want to personally thank a couple of folks real quickly. Bert Copeland and Jason Cronin are doing our recording today, so all of this will be available for us to watch later if necessary. Curtis Johnston and Dean Phillips are our Toastmasters, or for those of you who are not familiar with Toastmasters, our MCs or DJs for today. Stephanie Wynn and Kendra Ware are handling YouTube and keeping everyone excited and interested and hopefully interactive there. Laura Barker and John Grigsby are our Zoom masters, so they're taking care of things behind the scenes. And Catherine McConkey is our table topics master. In addition to our speakers and our contest participants tonight, that is the team that we have put together to bring the spring conference to you. I hope all of you enjoy it. And if you have anything or need anything for your clubs, please let me know. Thank you, Jean.
Thank you, Stacy. I appreciate that report. I'm going to show how a real Zoom meeting looks like just for fun before we take our break. And just give me a minute to pull that up. Can you see that on the screen?
Just seeing you, sir.
You're not seeing a conference room?
I am not.
Okay. Let me figure out what I need to do. Start square. Oh, now you should see it on the screen, right?
Here we go. Yes, sir.
Okay. We're on Zoom now, and Marty and I was talking one day about attendance. And Marty, you guys are so lucky to have Marty for a club growth director because he is sharp. And I said to Marty, Marty, what can we do to build up clubs virtually? You know what Marty said? The same thing you did before. How easy that is, folks. Just like before, when we invited people to a meeting, we just invited them, told them where the meeting was at, and they came. And it's the same thing you need to do for a Zoom meeting. You invite them and give them a link to the Zoom meeting. And you can build clubs by inviting. And after I show this little video, I'm going to tell you a little bit about a 60-day challenge that I want to offer to each of you. And then we'll go to a short break. This is a 3-minute video, so let's watch it.
Hey, Paul. Thanks for being here on time. Paul? Hey, Paul, can you hear me? I can't hear you. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Hey, guys.
Hey, Tyler.
Sorry I'm late. Having a hard time connecting.
1 second. Paul's having a sound issue.
I can't hear you. Try adjusting your output settings.
Can you hear me?
It's the gear icon.
Tyler, are you on hotel Wi-Fi?
Yeah, why? Never mind, I got it. I just had to change a few settings.
Great. Maybe we can get started then. Oh, great.
I think your mic is picking up your speakers. My mic?
Do you have headphones?
You want me to put them on?
No, I want you to smell them. No, I want you to put them on. Hey, Beth.
Hey, everyone. Sorry I'm late. I had to download a new version of the platform.
You should plan extra time for the updates. There's pretty much one every time.
Sounds like someone just joined.
Hey guys, it's John. I had to call in. I'm stuck in traffic. Have I missed anything yet?
No, it would have been nice for you to join the rest of us, but we'll see you when you get home. All right, while everyone is here, finally, Tyler, do you have that financial report?
Well, it's been the last few weeks updating our books, and I got some great news for you. Schedule from this point last year. We had a great Q1.
We lost Tyler, I think.
Am I frozen? Hey, Trip, I think we lost Tyler.
Yeah, I know, we lost Tyler.
Hey guys, it sounded like Tyler was cutting out.
We know, John. All right, while we wait on Tyler, why don't we go over all of the reports from Beth, are you with us?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, everyone, I know some of you have to leave soon, but I just wanted to go over a couple of the queries before. Oh, okay, excuse me. My wife's out of town this week. Daddy's, I'm so sorry. Okay, you just spilt grape juice on the carpet. Daddy is in a meeting. Tyler, can you go over the numbers one more time, please?
I thought Beth had an adjustment. Hey, Beth.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys, that's my iTunes.
Hey guys, hang on. I'm gonna join in. Hey, what platform are you guys on? Skype? FaceTime?
It's in the invite.
Oh, never mind. I see it. It's right there in the invite.
Okay, now I can see everybody. Let's reschedule and let's just do a regular old conference call, okay? Paul, can you have David send out the 9-digit passcode? I heard you.
Yeah, he's been here the whole time.
All right, everybody. I'll see you later. Like a lot of video conference calls, this one sucked, but it wouldn't have had we been using Zoom. Zoom will host over 4 billion meeting minutes over the next year alone. And that's because it's not only easy, it replaces our need to have multiple platforms for voice, for chat, for webinar, for video. Zoom does it all. And not only can you use your computer or a conference room system, you can do it right on your mobile device. So for more information, go to zoom.us.
Okay, I hope you enjoyed that. It was just a comical way of talking about Zoom and some of the challenges that we face.
Trip Crosby
Has joined the meeting.
Yeah, that's a different one. Need to stop that.
Is that a reenactment, Gene? Is this a video within a video?
That's another video, but it's similar.
Okay.
So what are we seeing on the screen now?
You.
Okay, that's good to know. All right, let's
Program
go back to where we were at before. And this, all right. Okay, now we talked, we're almost ready for the break. So I wanted to give you a 60-day challenge. And what I want you to do over the next 60 days is one thing. Keep doing exactly what you've been doing. We're excited about all the things that you're doing for Toastmasters. We want you to add one thing. Look at your situation. Are you in pathways? Say you're in level 2 and you only have 1 or 2 speeches to do. Go ahead and do what you can to finish that level. If you can do one thing more, maybe you could invite someone to come to a Zoom meeting. Just think of one thing that you can do over the next 60 days and make it happen. That's my challenge for you for the next 60 days. We're going to take a 10-minute break, and I've got 11:04, so at 11:14 we will start back. Okay?
Gene, can you hear us?
Gene, you need to unmute yourself.
Sorry, we're going to talk about the election for the virtual meeting. We're going to have the district leadership committee report and then have a couple speeches from the candidates. Basically, we sent out the procedural process to all the voting members. I'll give a summary here on the next 3 slides. The district leadership chair will conduct online meetings and interviews. That's been done. The district will set up candidate showcase online. We've done that. We've allowed campaigning opportunities. All candidates were allowed to post statements on the website. They were not allowed to post on social media. All floor candidates had to be declared 7 days in advance. Only candidates that go through the DLC are allowed nominations for election. There's no election allowed from the floor during the district council meeting. The district can have international officers and director candidates appear and give their speeches, which we're going to do. I want to say something before we get into the election. You'll see when Lindy or Jimmy gets up to talk about the different people that there's a vacancy in the club growth section. The reason it's not the fault of the candidates. If you want to blame somebody, you can blame me, but there's a huge policy. It is ginormous. And somewhere buried way down in the 9th protocol and section 2G, not A, but G is a little line that said anyone that participates on the district leadership committee, they're not allowed to run for election. So I spoke with the international director, I spoke with headquarters, and we couldn't change the policy to allow an exception. So we're going to have that office for the election of club growth director vacant because we only found out just recently and didn't have time to get somebody else. And they will be filled at a later time. we're going to have Jimmy Roberts come and give his report at this time. Jimmy?
Gene, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. I would like you to go ahead and present what's on the screen, if you will just take care of that.
I will.
That we have the DLC vetted lots of candidates. We worked hard all year long, and we interviewed candidates, and we are presenting today those that are being elected only, so that you notice the first thing we have on our list is Stacy Thomas. And Stacy is our candidate for district director. After she is either elected or whatever happens to her vote, then we'll move to the program quality director. So if you go to the next slide there, and do the same thing in turn with Mahdi, who is the candidate for PQD. He'll make a fine PQD. And then you notice the vacancy that Gene, we're skipping over. Then we'll vote for Division B Director, Sonia Van Hook. And then after that, Division C. Then Division D, Jason Cook. Then Division E, Jabbar Buchanan. And at the end, our Division F candidate, Ahmad Gilliam. So what you will notice, we will do this in turn. And if anyone during this election process is not elected by the votes that come in, they have the opportunity to also run for a lesser office. So that could happen, but probably won't. Well, that is the election DLC report, and I want to thank the members of the DLC who are Curtis Johnson, Donna Brown, and Heidi White, who have helped with all the interviews and things after we had to do the, I call it the shake-up for the club growth director. So that's my DLC report. You take over, please.
Thank you, Jimmy. I appreciate that. There's a lot of work that goes into being a leadership committee chair, and Jimmy was really good. He didn't mention the appointed positions because they're not appointed yet, but he did bring forth candidates for just about every single appointed position available. So Jimmy worked really hard and his team, and we really appreciate all that they've done all year. And I know the next district director will definitely appreciate it. Dennis Houchin is going to be running the voting process when we get ready to vote for each candidate, which we will vote for one at a time. And he has some special software that we could use, and we'll discuss that more as we get into that. Before that, I would like to have the election. Also, Lily Rowland, our parliamentarian, will be online to help us make sure that we're doing everything correct. And if we get anything off, Lily's going to jump in and straighten this all out. We have international director candidates that are going to be presenting first, and they will present a 2-minute speech. We'll start with international director candidate for Region 6, Avis Bodie. Avis, are you online? Avis Bodie. While we're waiting for her to get on, how about Melissa McGavick? Are you on?
Yes, sir.
You want to go ahead and give your speech?
Sure. Are we doing camera or just?
If you want, I will stop the share. It's up to you.
Yeah, we could do that.
Okay.
It says it's disabled. Maybe not.
Well, you could undo your video thing where your video will show.
Nope, it says it's disabled.
That's
okay. We'll move forward.
Sorry.
No problem. The only constant is change. Mr. District Director and fellow Toastmasters, our world is completely different than it was just a couple of months ago. Your family's health and well-being are and should be your top priority. Your participation in Toastmasters is not benefiting just you, but is also benefiting your fellow Toastmasters. You are creating a place where people can connect and providing people with some level of normal. The makeup of the board of directors is vital to ensuring Toastmasters is able to navigate both opportunities and obstacles. Being relevant and reliable and reachable makes our organization resilient during challenging times. That's why I'm asking, if I'm privileged enough to serve you on the board of directors, when you have a great idea to improve our organization, share that idea with me. Ask any of the district leaders who I served as a region advisor. They will tell you I love to get your calls, and I will happily listen, enthusiastically explore solutions with you, and be your voice on the board. It was an honor to serve 13 different districts in 2 regions as a region advisor. And that experience is just a small part of all of the preparation that I've done to prepare to be an international director. I'd be delighted to invest my experience, my energies, my efforts into Toastmasters and moving it forward. I ask, when you vote, to cast your vote for Melissa McGavick, International Director, Region 6.
Thank you, Melissa. Avis, are you on the line now?
I am. I keep losing my connection. I hope it doesn't happen now.
Okay, we see you.
Okay. So 15 years ago, I joined Toastmasters and I was absolutely hooked. From club member to club officer to district officer, I treasure this organization. My career has prepared me for being an international director, partly because it has given me the opportunity to travel, to meet and to work with people of all different cultures, to visit clubs in different countries, to be with different languages, different issues than we have here in North America. In fact, I'm calling you from my mom's house in Florida today. I live in Canada and I grew up in Connecticut. I'm a dual citizen, so I have a great deal of international experience. I bring this experience and perspective to the board as we plan to move forward with our organization, looking at the big picture ideas and how they impact our members. Staying home, as we've had to do now, has changed the way that we do business. If the fact that Pathways is online and ready for action at a time when the world really needs online learning is brilliant. We are still learning and still fine-tuning the program, and we need to make sure that it continues to withstand the tests of time. I pledge to you that I will work to ensure the methods and offerings of our business, Toastmasters International, will continue to provide an educational platform and to increase communication, leadership skills, and deliver those offerings in a way that uplifts the human spirit, builds self-confidence, and continues to build a sense of community and self-growth, whether it's online or in person. Please vote for me, Avis Brody, International Director. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay. You've heard a report from the District Leadership Committee. These individuals that are showing on this screen right now should be seeing about 7 people on the screen. Is that what everybody's seeing? Everybody's picture?
Yes, sir, we got it.
Great. I'm going to start with the first one. Candidate for District Director 2020-2021, Stacy Thomas has been placed in nomination. There's one uncontested candidate for the office of District Director. Without objection, the chair will dispense with the secret ballot and instruct the administration manager to cast, in the form of a voice vote, a single ballot for the candidate in this uncontested office. If there is an objection, please type it in the chat now. Hearing no objection, we will dispense with the secret ballot, and the administration manager will cast in the form of a voice vote a single ballot. I declare elected Stacy Thomas, District Director. Candidate for Program Quality Director 2020 to 2021 is Monty Foster. For the office of Program Quality Director, Monty Foster has been placed in nomination. There is one uncontested candidate for the office of Program Quality Director. Without objection, the chair will dispense with the secret ballot and with the form of a voice vote, present that one vote. Is there any objections to this? Please write it in the chat box at this time. Hearing no objection, we will dispense with the secret ballot, and the administrative manager will cast in the form of a voice vote a single ballot. I declare elected Monty Foster, Program Quality Director. Everybody's putting their hands up. It's great. Candidate for Division B Director 2020-21 is Sonia Von Hook. For the office of Division B Director, Sonia Van Hook has been placed in nomination. There's one uncontested candidate for the office of Division B Director. Without objection, the chair will dispense with the secret ballot and instruct the administrative manager to cast in the form of a voice vote a single ballot for the candidate in this uncontested office. Please type your name in the chat box if you have an objection. Hearing no objection, we will dispense with the secret ballot, and the administration manager will cast in the form of voice vote a single ballot. Division C Director, Stephanie Wynn. For the office of Division C Director, Stephanie Wynn has been placed in nomination. There's one uncontested candidate for the office of Division C Director. Without objection, the chair will dispense with the secret ballot and instruct the administrative manager to cast in the form of a voice vote a single ballot for the candidate in this uncontested office. Please type your name in the chat box in club if you want to be acknowledged at this time. Hearing no objection, we will dispense with the secret ballot, and the administrative manager will cast in the form of a voice vote a single ballot. I declare elected Stephanie Wynn, Division C Director. What happened here? Candidate for Division D Director is Jason Cook for the 2020-2021 year. For the office of Division D Director, Jason Cook's name has been placed in nomination. There's one uncontested candidate for the office of Division D Director. Without objection, the chair will dispense with the secret ballot and instruct the administrative manager to cast a single ballot for the candidate in the uncontested office. Please type your name in the chat box with your club if you want to object or make a statement. I declare elected Jason Cook, Division D Director. Candidate for Division E, Jabbar Buchanan, 2020-21 year. For the office of the Division E Director, Jabbar Buchanan has been placed in nomination. There is one uncontested candidate for the office of Division E Director. Without objection, the chair will dispense of the secret ballot and instruct the administrative manager to cast a single ballot for the candidate in this uncontested office. Please type your name and club in the chat box if there's an objection. I declare elected Jabbar Buchanan, Division E Director. Candidate for Division F, Ahmad Gilliam, 2020-2021. For the office of Division F Director, Ahmad Gilliam has been placed in nomination. There is one uncontested candidate for the office of Division F Director. Without objection, the chair will dispense with the secret ballot and instruct the administrative manager to cast, in the form of a voice vote, a single ballot for the candidate in this uncontested office. Please type your name in the chat box if you have an objection. Hearing no objection, we will dispense with the secret ballot and the administration manager will cast, in the form of a voice vote, a single ballot. I declare elected Ahmad Gilliam. In the form of new business, there is one new business that I want to bring forth. For some time, we have been using a projector that is old. It does not connect with modern computers without a whole bunch of adapters and things to make it work. It's small. We believe, and several people have asked us, if we couldn't get a better projector. And we didn't have this in the budget. That's why I'm bringing it to you at the district council. We need to get a better projector that we could use in the district. I want to make a motion that we purchase a projector. You've heard the financial report, how much money we have in there. I believe we have enough to pay for one projector. Stacy's found one that is wireless. It has the ability to connect with any computer because of the wireless technology. You can even connect with smartphones to send stuff to the projector. It's a pretty awesome tool and it's less than $1,000. I move that the district purchase a new projector for the district. I'm going to open the floor for anyone who wants to object or ask any questions at this time before we vote. So if you have a comment, you need to put it in the chat box and we'll take them one at a time.
Jean, I second the motion. Donna Brown.
Oh, thank you, Donna. Anyone else?
I second the motion.
Okay, thank you.
On that motion, I think it needs to have a dollar cap to it so that when someone goes out to purchase, they would have an idea of knowing what the cost would be. So the motion would really need to be amended that you would approve the district to buy this in the amount of $1,000 or less and put a cap on it. Because if you find one that's $2,500, the agreement wasn't on that. It was to purchase one, but I think we need to have a dollar amount in it.
That's a good point, Regina. We'll do, as you said, change the motion to include the dollar cap of 1,000 or less.
I think you have to see if Donna will amend.
Do we have a second to the motion?
Second.
Okay. Dennis, do we need to put the poll up and have how many people want to vote for and against?
Yeah, I can do that. I was just typing in a comment, a suggestion. Let me get it in the right place, so I just sent it to John Grigsby
Okay.
inadvertently.
Did we have a second to the motion to add the cap to the motion?
Yes, Dean Phillips.
Okay.
Okay, my comment was, and if it doesn't make any sense, we don't need to worry about it. But I was just wondering, since we're so sparse, Chattanooga is a long way from Nashville and Knoxville. Does it make sense to have a projector in each of the major cities?
That would be a different motion, Dennis. I think we need to wait till next year's budget to consider anything like that. I just want to do the one motion this time.
Okay. All right, then we can vote. We didn't really get the instructions on voting since we didn't have to use it. So I'll go ahead and go over that now if you like, and then we can vote on the motion.
Yes, please do.
Okay, so if you go to the District 63 webpage, right underneath the DEC committee link is a new link for election. If you click on that, it'll take you to an election page that describes the process, and it'll take you, there'll be a link on that page for doing the voting. And if you click on that link, you will see the active poll as soon as I activate it, which I've not done yet. Okay, so at this point, there is an opportunity now to cast your vote on whether to discuss the motion.
Dennis, this is John Grigsby. Can you clarify that where on the website people can find this link?
Okay, if you go to the district website, right underneath the D63 Executive Council is a new link called Election. If you click on that, it'll open up a page, and that page contains a link that says Vote for District Officers.
And just to further clarify, this is only the voting president and vice president of each club, correct?
Yes.
Thank you.
Vice President of Education and President.
And Barbara has placed the link in the chat box if anyone needs it.
So area directors do not vote on this.
Correct. Just the presidents and vice presidents need to vote.
And I think I already got rid of the name. So please make sure that when you vote, you've got your name is showing. There should be a bar at the top of the screen that says you're currently answering as or responding as, and it'll give you a name. Make sure that reflects your actual name.
Does anyone need more time on the voting?
So it looks like there are still people
Okay.
coming in.
We'll wait. We'll wait.
The question is whether we should discuss the motion. Is that correct? And not whether we should accept the motion?
We already had discussion. I thought we were going to just
Okay.
vote on whether we're
All
going to
right.
have it or not.
All right, well, the wording said discuss, so.
Can you tell me where that is found again in the international website? What it's under?
It's a District 63 website.
District 63 website. Okay.
I think
Thank
it's
you.
D63 Toastmasters.org.
Gene, can you go there maybe and share your screen so people know what they're looking at? I'm still getting some questions about it.
Okay.
Or I
I
can.
don't see the link either. Yeah, I need to know where the link is on our website.
It's about the 7th hyperlink down on the left-hand side. So on the left-hand side, it says main menu, D63 leaders only, and then just start reading it down. Home, contact us, meet our district, blah, blah, blah. You'll see the word election.
I'll share the screen in just a second.
I
And
just
there's a link
posted
in
the link in the chat.
as well. Yeah. Can we get clarification on who is supposed to vote or not? There are a couple questions about if deck members can vote. Are area and division directors not allowed to vote in this one?
Lily, what do you think?
I'm available if you'd like to ask me, Jean. Hi, it's Carol Borhinsky.
Yeah, Carol.
As International Director, I guide you that the deck members have 1 vote each, unless they are also a president or a vice president of education, then they will have those votes as well. Thank you, Jean.
Okay, thank you, Carol. So that means the deck is able to be part of the decision making.
Thank you, Carol.
Can we get Carol at all of our deck meetings?
That's up to Carol.
I'm always available to you guys.
Second the motion.
Yeah, she's very sweet.
I have a question. So a yes vote is to approve the motion, not, it says discuss the motion, but a yes vote is to approve the motion to go for a purchase of a projector, $1,000 or less.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
I changed the wording. Let me confirm that it's actually activated. Yeah, it should say discuss now. I'm sorry, it should say approve right now. If it says discuss, just refresh the screen.
How do I vote for the district officers? Because when I click on vote for District 63 officers, your motion's coming up and I don't know how to get to the other vote.
We're not voting for officers.
Okay. Oh, okay. So this voting is for this motion. Okay. Thank
Yes.
you. Thank you. That clears that up.
You click on the link that says vote for officers, but it's just a page holder. You're not actually voting for officers. They've already been voted in.
And is there a submit button after we vote on this, or just close the window?
I think you just close the window, don't you, Dennis?
Yes. I mean, yeah, it's tallied. If it says clear previous response, it means your response has been recorded.
And then we can just close out of the window, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Very good.
I have the website on the screen, this d63.toastmastersdistrict.org. I appreciate you guys staying in there with us. We did run overtime more than what was expected. I apologize for running over, but we had so much to cover.
Dennis, I still see discuss as an option.
Did you refresh your screen, refresh your browser?
I did.
Yeah, it didn't change on mine either.
Oh, I'm looking at the top. It says approve up at the top. And then yes, discuss the motion. Is that right?
When I click the link, it takes me to responding as my name. Do I wish to approve? And the approve.
Yeah,
two
that's
responses is yes,
it says approve there. That's the question, and then the answer was yes, discuss. So I need to change that as well.
Yes. Because correct me if I'm wrong, we're voting a yes or no to approve.
That's correct.
Yes.
Okay, it should say approved now in both places.
Says yes, approve the motion, or no, postpone the motion.
Correct.
Okay. Now everyone can vote.
I marked it, but how do I actually get the vote to count? How do I enter the vote after marking it?
If you to confirm that your vote is counted, look over on the left-hand side of where you click. There's a number, and that number shows you whether it's been counted. And as long as there's something in that number, then you're done. If you can, it's already been registered. It's in the system.
Yeah.
And it's just the one vote. It says I have 2 responses remaining, but it's just the one.
Gene, will you clarify who has more than one vote available to them?
Yeah, DEC members who are also a president or vice president of education would have 2 votes. If they're just a DEC member and not a president of VPE, they have 1 vote. If they're a member, both president and VPE at 2 different clubs and a DEC member, that would be the maximum of 3. No one can have more than 3 votes.
That is correct.
Thank you, Billy.
Are we supposed to be looking for a link that says elect? Because I can't find one.
John, can you pull your screen back up?
I certainly can.
Will you? I know you can.
And affirmative on the second as well. So if you click, I'm sharing my screen now. If you click on the election, I'm at the district webpage. We go to election. It says vote for District 63 officers, but that is not actually what we're voting for right now. But that is the valid link to take you to this page. And my vote is no longer private.
You're funny.
I can't unshare that, can I?
No, the damage is done, my friend. Damage.
Even so, bless you, John Grigsby.
Dennis, do you see that people are responding?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm still seeing votes coming in, so they haven't slowed.
If
A lot.
if they're president or VP for more than one club, do they get a vote for each club? 2 votes.
Yes.
Yes, yes. Maximum is 3, and that's it.
And when the votes stop, I will I'll lock the poll, and then I'll show you the results. If that's what is wanted. I think that's what's wanted.
I got something that says I have 2 responses remaining. What does that mean?
That means that there's a possibility of 3 total votes. You only vote the number you're qualified for. If you're a deck member, you have 1 vote. If you're a president and a deck member, you have 2. If you're a president or VPE and a deck member, and possibly members of multiple clubs, you could have a maximum of 3, but a lot of people have just 1 vote.
Thank you.
Okay, I think the number is stabilized, so
That's
I'm gonna give everybody just about 60 seconds. So if you are still thinking about it and trying to make a decision, make it now. And then I'll close it when the timer runs out in 42 seconds. Yep. And they all rushed back in to start voting again. Okay, 5 seconds. Unless somebody wants to yell and say, stop, I want to vote. You should all now see.
Okay, thank you, Dennis. It looks like at a vote of 144 to 11, the motion carries. So we have permission to purchase a new projector for the district as long as it does not exceed $1,000 and there's enough money in the budget to handle it. So we appreciate all of you for your confidence and your help on this vote. That is all we need today for our meeting. Again, I apologize for running over. We do appreciate your support, the fact that you're still a Toastmasters, that you're still involved in Toastmasters. We want you to get out there on those Zoom meetings, invite as many people as you can, and make this next 60 days be a wonderful time. Now, Stacy and her committee has put together tons of wonderful speakers for today. Let's join the conference for the rest of the day, and you have a good day.
Hey, Jean, quick question. Do we
Yes.
need to vote on the realignment, or are we good with that?
Did we not vote for realignment?
I believe we did.
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought we did. We
I
did.
We
Now
had,
we only vote to accept the report.
we voted
Okay.
to save the report. We did not vote to approve.
Good point. Good point, Lily. We voted on exactly what you said, to accept the report, but we didn't vote on.
Accepting the realignment as recorded, as
Right.
well as the our
slate of candidates.
Our slate of candidates in terms of, for what was it, international director? Who?
Well, we don't need to vote for
This is
international
Carol.
director.
Carol, thank you.
I'm available. Jean, would you
Okay.
like me to respond?
Yes.
Oh, good. Okay. First, thank you so much for the interest in parliamentary procedure. It is an absolutely, in my mind, fun topic. Second, regarding the votes, you voted by exception. It was not according to parliamentary procedure, but you asked if there was any objections to the
I'm here where I could look at stuff.
Yeah, I don't know.
Teresa? So, Jean, you asked if there was any, why am I blanking on the word? You asked if there was any complaints. I'm going to use the word complaints, but in regards to the report, and then you said it was accepted. So if you want to have a vote for it, you can go back and vote for it. You did ask if there was any conversation to be made about it, if there was any people that were dissatisfied with it. But nobody said yes, so you said it was accepted as is. I would leave that up to you in terms of your voting. If there are people that are upset about it, by all means have that conversation and have the vote to see if it's accepted or not by your members. The second topic that was brought up was the, oh, Lily, you'll have to remind me. What was the second topic?
The voting for the candidates who did give their speeches.
Okay, you're asking about the international officer candidates, and the answer is you don't vote at this time. All club presidents and vice presidents of education will have a vote. It will happen in the August timeframe. Normally we do it at the convention. You either assign your proxy to your district leadership team or somebody from your club. At this point, the International World Headquarters staff and the board are trying to figure out exactly how that process is going to be this year, since we no longer have, and sadly, the International Convention at Paris. It has been postponed by 1 year. So I hope you all get your passports updated. This is a good time to do that, and plan to attend the International Convention next year in Paris. Thank you, Lily, and thank you, Jean.